There we go. I think I did it. Having some technical difficulties. I'm spelling this out. Technical issues. All right. We should be good now. Am I portrait? Am I landscape right now for you guys? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Okay. Oh, we're good. I think we're good. Okay. Hi, everyone. Hi, Cameron. Hi, Michelle and kiddos. Sorry about that. I had a little rough start of it. First, I was fighting with my iPhone stand here, and then I was fighting with the portrait versus landscape mode. So I think we're ready to get going. Hi, Marissa. Oh gosh, I'm so happy to be doing this painting with you guys. I had a ton of fun with this one. Hi, Charlie. I was just kind of scrolling on like Google image search, just trying to get ideas, and I found this painting that was kind of in this style, and I first of all was like, oh, it's so cool, and I thought this would be super fun to do because it has this really bright, happy, vibrant effect, but it's really, really simple. Okay. And we can totally have fun with it. We can have fun with the colors inside the trees. You can do whatever flower you want kind of up in the front. It also kind of looks like stained glass. So I'm really excited about this one. I was nervous though, because it's kind of a little different than what we're usually doing. But I hope you enjoy this one. And this is a good one to do with the kiddos, the whole family, and any medium will do, really. Just the way we kind of take it step by step. You can use crayons, markers, colored pencils, Sharpies are gonna be really fun here. It's whatever you've got around the house. I'm gonna be using my acrylics. I've got yellow, a little bit of red, blue, black, and just a little white this time. We don't need a whole bunch of white. Yeah, so this is a fun one. Ooh, and I just put my thumb in some white paint. What else is new? Okay, so thanks for being here. This is one of our Jana Marie Foundation wellness breaks. It's always a joy to be here on the Jana Marie Foundation page on Facebook, painting with you guys. I know we've got a lot of familiar faces, so thank you guys for being returning painting veterans. What week are we in, guys? I don't know. Week 6, week 5. I don't know. We've been painting a long time together with this stay-at-home order. So I'm glad to have you here. If this is your first time, totally check out the Jana Marie Foundation page on Facebook. Also, JanaMarieFoundation.org. It's a great place to find out the awesome things that they do in Center County and State College, Pennsylvania. Also, on that website, JanaMarieFoundation.org, you can check out their donate button. As a thank you to them for having these wellness breaks, if you can, just throw them a couple of dollars. Hey, Donna! And that would be great. Like many nonprofits, you know, they're struggling because of a lot of those fundraisers getting canceled. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm super excited about this one. So let's get started. Again, if you're just joining us, we got the usual suspects: primary colors, yellow, red, and blue, black, and a little white. Okay, as you can see, my new paper plate has gotten a little messy as the days go on. All right, so let's start. Let's do this. So this is super fun because we're basically gonna start by drawing, right? So some of painting is drawing, but a lot of painting is just kind of blending on colors. But we're gonna draw. And hey, if you want to draw with a pencil first, fine. But I'm just gonna draw with a brush and black paint. And of course, I don't have the brush I want right next to me. that is fine. We're gonna use this one. I'll use this brush. Okay, in the original one, I had a small round brush. So a round brush means that the metal crimp is round, the metal opening is round here. This is a flat one, and that's fine. Let's see if my assistant is gonna try to find this brush. Aha! Is that it? No? There we go. Okay, I got it. So I used this brush to kind of draw with. So a nice round brush is good for kind of drawing things out. But any little brush will do. Yeah. All right. So first things first, we're just gonna kind of sketch out these basic shapes. I'm gonna start with this tree line. Okay. And it's just a really quick, squiggly little line, keeping in mind where I want these big humps to be for those big bushy trees. Okay. So I'm going into with my little round brush here into some black paint. And this part we're just planning, we're just sketching, so it doesn't have to be a really thick, clean line. Okay. And we don't have to be too perfectionist here. We're just planning things out. So I'm going to start over here on the left. And oh, I got this one tree coming out over here. And he's got a little friend here and a little friend hiding there. Kind of a medium friend. And then we got this big guy on the right. Okay. And that's just outlining my tree line, right? I did it really quickly. I'm not worried about like the sketchiness of this. Maybe you've got a pencil and you're using your pencil here or a marker. That works too. Okay, so again, my recommendation is to really think about where those big bushy trees are going to be, right? So kind of picture in your mind where these you know, basically lumps or circles of leaves are going to be. Right, so I've got like 1, 2, 3, and this guy's hiding behind back there, and I got this big guy over here. Okay, so that's kind of what we got so far. If it looks like clouds, you're doing that right, right? Right. Okay, now let's, as our guide, let's put down our little grass line here. Okay, so my grass line is on my 11 by 14 canvas. It's about 2.5 inches. Again, it's just a guide right now. It's super sketchy. I'm just giving myself a plan here. Right? So something like that. Yeah? All right, so now, hi Anetta. Let's sketch out our trees. So this guy kind of comes out like this. I got this guy next to him, and this guy, and they're kind of like little clouds, right? And this guy's kind of hiding back here, something like that. And if I can kind of change things around if I want him to extend in front of this guy, you know, we're just kind of planning things out right now. No mistakes. Everything's fixable. All right. So then for me, I'm not going to worry about the tree trunks because we're gonna color a lot of this in with this kind of muted color in the background, so I don't have to worry about tree trunks. You can put them there if you like, but we're gonna do tree trunks at the end, kind of over top. Okay, so if you're like me, you're gonna put some daffodils down here. We could do any flower here, guys. Yeah, I don't know, daisies would be good, a sunflower would be fun, tulips, whatever you guys want. Yeah, that could be fun, doing like whatever kind of flower you like. But I do love me some daffodils, and they're out and about right now. So They make me happy when I see them. And I love doing daffodils because you can do like the daffodil that's facing you. He's kind of like giving you that, I kind of think of it as like a horn, like an open mouth, like, I'm a daffodil. And then you could do another daffodil that's looking off that way. Okay, so I'm going to start with that face fronting daffodil in the corner here. And he's going to go, his big old mouth is going to go here. And I'm just going to do something like that. And then I'm going to give him, how many petals do I have showing? I have 5 petals showing. Something like this. And again, we're just sketchy. We're just planning things out right now. Nothing has to be perfect. We're just kind of blocking out where we want colors to go. Something like that, right? And then I want to add this daffodil that's by his side, and he's kind of looking off on the other direction. So for that daffodil, for his little horn or cup, I'm just going to draw an oval, let's say around here. So that's the opening of his little horn, right? And then I can add like a little cup right there. And then I can add these petals that are kind of coming out from the side, right? Another one over here. Probably a big one over here. Maybe something else coming out here. And then I've got this other guy that's he's barely getting in on this canvas right now. So I just see kind of 3 tips of his petals here. Maybe not even 3, maybe even just like 2.5. Something like that. All right. Let me move this. I don't know if you can see the whole canvas here. There we go. I think you can see it all there now. Okay, so there we are. We've got our basic outlines here that are going to help us, you know, figure out where our colors go. I've got my tree, my leaves of my trees kind of set out. We've got our grass line. We've put in our flowers. Okay, I've got daffodils ready to go. Maybe you've got a sunflower, daisies, roses, tulips, whatever. Those are going to be fun, kind of right in the foreground of our painting. All right, so I'm going to move on to my Old Faithful flat angled brush. Any brush will do. We're going to basically pick a brush that we want to fill in. You know, so I like a big brush because I won't be there for forever just filling in. So I'm going to wipe off this brush. I'm going to wipe that off, get off that excess paint. Always want to get off excess paint before I give it a rinse. If you're joining us for the first time, I have been uploading or downloading these videos and then putting them up on a YouTube playlist. So that means that folks who are not on Facebook can have access. So I try to get those up by the end of the day. So by the end of the day today, this painting step-by-step video will be on my YouTube playlists, and I can put that in the comments when we're done. So obviously it won't be there right away when I post the link in the comments, but by the end of the day, that will be there. Okay, so I've cleaned my brush, but I'm going to move on to a larger flat brush. It's not so important that it's an angle right now, but I'm moving to a large brush so I can start filling in larger areas. So let's do our sky, okay? And for me, my sky is a little bit lighter over here and gets bluer as I go to the left. So I'm gonna put more white paint down here. And because of this painting, it's kind of just like fun. Don't worry if you get some black mixed in with your white. That's totally fine. That happened to me in the original painting when I was filling in color. Oh, I smudged black in my colors and I got some black in my sky, but you can't even tell because you just keep blending, just keep mixing colors. So I'm just gonna start with some white, just kind of filling in where my sky is. So yeah, go ahead and fill in that whole sky with some white paint. And we are going to get our blend on. Sometimes when you guys paint with me, we do a very smooth back and forth type thing. For this one, I wanted it to have kind of a fun, playful feel, so I'm definitely doing like a more quick, not thinking too much, swish and flick kind of stroke. So I just filled in that sky with white paint, right? Putting a little more over here on the right side where I want it to be lighter. And I'm just gonna go right in to my blue paint. Not even gonna take off that white paint from my brush. I'm gonna tap into some of that blue. And I'm just gonna start with my swish and flick. It's kind of a slowed down. It's basically a little crisscross, right? And just kind of smudging in along those tree lines. Don't worry about having a perfect edge on those tree lines. Do not worry about that at all, because when we're done filling in color, we get to outline these things again. So don't worry about perfect little outlines. Don't worry about blending in with that black paint that's already there. This is like a don't worry, be happy painting, because we're just having fun smudging color around. I got some little gray happening, but that's fine with me. I'm gonna grab some more blue. Some of you might want a darker blue sky with more blue than white. Some of you might want a really light sky. Totally up to you. I like that kind of texture in this painting. And let's say I want this actually to be lighter. I can just go back in and wipe off some of that excess paint, grab some more white, and I can smudge in some more white here, right? Again, not worrying about being perfect with my outlines here. Just kind of having fun. Something like that. There we go. So there we've got our nice little sky. Right? I think I want to add just a little bit more blue on the left side here. Why not? All right, here we go. How about that? Fun. Hi, Cheryl. All right, let's do these trees. Let's get some leaves on these trees. So I'm going to use my same brush. Again, use whatever brush you feel like. This could be a fun, if you've got lots of brushes to choose from at your house, then you can kind of play around with which brush gives you a texture that you like for your trees, because trees have fun texture. I'm gonna just reuse this guy. I'm gonna wipe off that excess paint. Give it a good clean rinse. Right, Michelle? It's a cute little painting. Cute little fun painting. All right. Get off of there. Okay. Got my brush nice and clean. Gonna take off that excess water. And now I'm gonna have fun mixing some greens, okay? And I love playing around with different greens. So I'm gonna make like a kind of a base green that I'm gonna kind of just fill in all of my trees with. And then I'm just gonna have fun like adding some yellows, like more yellowy green, more blue green. I've even got some red happening in here. So anything that looks kind of muddy kind of has some red in it. So yeah, let's just have fun with some greens here. I'm gonna go into my yellow paint, pull some out in this area, drag some blue over. And that's kind of like a really bright green. Maybe it's because I'm in my light. It's making it look really bright, but I'm just gonna kind of tone that down with some red. Tone it down. Okay, so let's see what happens. I'm gonna start from the left here. Oh yeah, I like that one. And now I'm just kind of filling in. Again, it doesn't have to be smooth. These are trees, these are leaves. They've got texture, they've got shadows and shimmers and highlights. And I'm just gonna kind of smudge. You can kind of do a stamp, you know, see what, maybe you like a stamp type of thing. Totally up to you. But as I move into my next tree, just to kind of keep it interesting, I'm gonna mix a different green, just a little, slightly different, maybe just adding more yellow to it, just to kind of keep it interesting. Yeah, I kind of like that. See, that tree's just a little bit lighter. Got some green in my sky, no problem. I can take care of that later. Ooh yeah, see I got that blue in there, and it's just kind of coming off as I smudge on here. So all sorts of cool things happen when you're kind of playing around with greens and foliage. Cool. I'm gonna do this little guy here, and this little guy, he's in the background, so he's kind of darker because he's in shadow. He's farther away from us. So for that guy, I'm going to mix up another green with yellow and blue, and I'm going to give him a smidgy of smooches of black. So he's going to be darker. Yeah, that's nice. Definitely a nice darker green. Now I'm gonna kind of go back to that lighter, brighter green, so just more yellow and blue. I mean, there's really no right way to do this here. It's really fun to just kind of play around with whatever colors you like. I don't necessarily have, like, I know what color I want to mix. They kind of just happen. All right. How we doing out there? And Kellen. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the comments, so I don't know how long you guys have been hanging out there. Welcome, welcome. All right, so now for this big guy over here. Maybe another green, but with more yellow. And I gotta make a lot because he's a big one. All right. Ooh, I kind of like this. Kind of swirling. That's fun. And you kind of hold your brush like you're signing your name and just do circles. That could be fun. Just discovered that move. Get some more paint. Fun, 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 fun. How about that? I just can't help. I just kind of like little dabbies, you know. Okay, focus. Sometimes I just kind of talk to myself and I forget that I'm on this live video. Okay, so now those are kind of like my base colors. I can play with different kinds of highlights and shadows. So I'm not even gonna wash my brush here. I'm just gonna have fun. I'm gonna take my brush, I'm gonna dip it into some yellow, and I'm going to tap here and there and everywhere where I think some highlights should be, because yellow can be my highlight color. Just kind of tap here and there and everywhere. Oh, he's a little bit too lit up back there. That's okay. Yeah, so yellow is a great highlight color, and because we didn't wash our brush, we still have that green in there. We can kind of press hard and tone it down. So if I go in like guns blazing with yellow, I can just kind of keep kicking it in because I got that green in my brush already, right? So that's fun. And then I can play with darker colors. So if yellow is my highlight, then I can mix a green that's a bit lower. It's not so bright, so I can touch it up with some red and make it purple by accident. And if it goes purple on you, you can add yellow. I might add a smooch of black. I don't know. Let's see what happens, right? Ooh, that's super dark. Super dark. Let's fix that. I'm gonna get my green back in there. Ooh, I went dark, but I don't know, I'm kind of liking it. We can add some of these. Ooh, I kind of like it. Yeah, don't be afraid of color. Don't be afraid of something that's too dark. We can always kind of go back and fix it, right? Ooh. Right, just kind of smudge. Keep smudging, keep smudging. Keep tapping, keep stamping. I don't know, I kind of like that. See how it's different already from my original. Super different, right? I love it when things come out unexpectedly, differently. I love seeing all your pictures. Keep those pictures coming of your artwork. Love it, love it. All right. Ta-da! So yeah, you can keep playing with that. I mean, you can keep adding. So I know what I did. So when I worked on the orange here, I couldn't help myself, and I tapped in orange up in the trees when I had orange on my brush for when I did these guys. And guess what? I'll probably do it again because I can't help myself. I just love tapping on color and seeing what happens. Okay, let's do this background color. It's a muddy, neutral kind of brown gray. So I'm just gonna take advantage of the green that I have on my brush, and I'm gonna use that as my base to work out this neutral muddy color. So in that green, I'm going to add the complementary color red. If you're familiar with painting with me, we talk about Christmas brown sometimes. So this is kind of like a Christmas brown. I'm going to add just a smidgy smooch of white to kind of turn it a bit gray. So something like that. Might add a bit more red to it. So for me, this muddy background, I mean, this could be anything. Maybe it's a fence. Maybe you've got a fence back here. For me, it's just kind of like that neutral, don't know what it is, trees, brush kind of background, but maybe you want to make that a fence. That would be fun, like a white picket fence. So for that, I'm just gonna use vertical strokes to paint on this background here. And I'm definitely gonna need to make more of that color. Getting very dry. So let's make our green base again. Get some red to get a Christmas brown thing happening. Add some of that white. And smidgy smooch of black. And smidgy smooch of red. Alright, that should be enough to get us by. Oh yeah. So I like keeping it like a vertical stroke. Again, because for me, these are like maybe the tree trunks of trees that are far away, or other kind of natural foliage. And don't worry if we're losing the outline of our trees, again, because we're going to go over that later. Just kind of get all that paint off my brush. Yeah, something like that. Cool. All right. I'll give you some time to catch up. I know sometimes it takes a while to get that brown gray color. And I'm just kind of using my brush to give some texture back here in that wet paint. That's always a fun thing to do. I had fun doing that with our wildflower painting the other day. Was that Tuesday? I don't know. I liked kind of going over the wet paint with my brush, and you can kind of get cool textures in there. Okay. Cool. I am loving how different this one is already. It's already a different kind of feeling. Yeah. So something like this is kind of looking impressionistic to me, and you don't even have to outline it now, I'm thinking, but I will outline it to show you what that looks like. Cool. All right. Let's wipe off that excess paint. And I'm going to reuse this brush. I don't need to wash it. I'm going to make the green for our grass. And kind of like how we did in our wildflower painting on Tuesday, we're just going to play around with those greens, play around with those textures, right? So let's go into our yellow and blue and make a green. I kind of like mixing into that neutral color that I already have in there to kind of tone down that green. All right, and I'm just gonna start planting some blades of grass here, right? like it. Now I can mix up another green, maybe a little bit different this time. So mixing different greens as we go layer by layer will help kind of create texture and dimension. I'm just going to keep adding rows of these blades of grass. Get in there and between those flowers. And I think I'll have some come through down here, which I don't think I had on the original painting. Something like that. And I'm just going to keep on going, mixing some greens, maybe add some yellow this time, maybe add a little smidgy smooch of red to tone that down, a little smidgy smooch of blue. Something like that. And I want to go in with some yellow, because sometimes, just like when we did with those trees, just adding straight yellow on top of green can give us some nice highlights. And because we already have that green in our brush, it's gonna tone it down so we're not going crazy with yellow. How about that? Let me just see here. It looks like someone is messaging me. I don't want to make sure that they found us. I hope everybody's doing well out there. Let's see. Weather report. It's not terribly sunny, but it's not terribly gloomy out there. So hopefully we can get some nice bright colors in our lives with this painting. I hope we're hanging in there. These weeks and days have been crazy and long and slow and fast all at the same time. But we are here painting. Painting always makes me feel better. Okay, once we're kind of done playing around with our grass, let's start filling in our flowers. Oh, would I have a little green popping in here? I think this would be green. Let's fill that in. Okay, so I'm going to wipe off excess paint from here. Give that brush a good clean rinse. All right, so if you're like me, you might have a little squiggle of black in your leaves. That shouldn't be a big problem, but if you want, you can try to take a clean, wet brush and kind of scrub it away. So that can typically work if you've got a lot of paint there that's kind of dry black. It doesn't usually bother me, but I wanted to show you this kind of technique. If ever you do have a glop of paint that you don't want to be there, not a glop really, but things that have kind of dried, you can usually take a clean, wet brush and you usually can scrub. It's not going to be perfect, but it can be helpful. So that's something you can do. And then I would get little piece of paper towel, and then I would kind of dab it or wipe away the water. Okay, but again, if you got a mess over here, it's totally fine, because we can just cover it up. We can cover it up. All right, so I'm moving on to a clean brush, a smaller brush. They all should be clean right now. I'm going to move on to a smaller brush, any small brush, and I'm going to start just filling in my daffodils. And we're just kind of, you know, like a coloring book style, just getting in those petals. Again, if I mix with black, I'm not that concerned because this is a fun, mixy painting. And then do this petal. And then this petal. I'm going to do all the yellow petals and then we can work on the red-orange centers. And yeah, again, I've got these little squigglies and black things shining through my yellow. That's fine. They don't bother me much. We can add more yellow. We can go over that with white to help cover that up. We can, sorry, I'm doing two things at once. Okay, we can go over that with yellow again. We can go over it with white. We can mix up some orangey yellow and go over it, but I am not worried about that. Okay? All right. So now let's mix a dark red-orange, and this is going to be for the center of those cups. Again, I have no idea what the technical term is. The bell, maybe? I don't know. The center of the daffodil. So I'm going to make a very, very red orange. And I'm going to color in my center over here and my center over here. Actually, I want that to be a bit more red. And then for the outside of the cup or the horn, I'm going to make a more yellowy orange. Fill out the outside here. And one way to cover up that black is to kind of go over it with some orange here. Maybe. Why not? Add some texture to those petals. Just have fun. Flowers and leaves and trees, they should be fun and easy breezy, carefree. Yeah, I just can't help myself. I just kind of like playing around. I'm not usually a woman with a plan, so when it comes to painting, anyway. So yeah, have fun. Maybe you want to add in some more yellow to get those colors nice and bright and vibrant. Okay. Something just fell onto my painting. Is it food? Is it dust? Who knows? It wasn't cat hair. That's usually what gets on there. All right. Something like that. And as I said before, I usually can't help myself. I'm going to start... Oh, maybe not. That went on really orange. Oh, maybe I have an orange tree. Oh, here we are, folks. I am totally improvising this orange tree right now. This was definitely not the plan, but why not? How about an orange tree? Who wants an orange tree? Oh, my grandparents' old house had an orange tree. We got oranges now, folks. Not on the plan. But what I wanted to do was to have a more duller kind of orange that was mixed in with green, and just kind of, again, find little fun colors and highlights, you know. All right. Cool. Now, at the very least, I want to add my tree trunks, right? But maybe you're looking at your painting right now, and maybe you're like, I don't want to outline it. I kind of like the way it is now. And that's totally cool, right? I am going to go ahead and outline mine. And I'm just going to stick with this brush. I think that's what I used in the original one. And I'm just going to retrace my steps from the beginning. I'm going to outline this tree line. And you can kind of fix up anything that kind of smudged, just kind of cover it up with a line. Ta-da! And then we can go around the bottom of these trees, fill out the boughs and the foliage up here and around here. All right. Ta-da! And then we can just pull down some tree trunks, maybe a couple of branches here and there. These are just real simple, straight up and down tree trunks. Nothing special here, folks. You can kind of pull up some branches in the trees if you want. Went behind this daffodil here. And this guy gets a tree trunk. Everybody gets a tree trunk. Put some branches up in here. Ta-da! I like it both ways. I liked it without the outlining, but I also like it with the outlining. So that's totally up to you. And then for our grass, I'm just going to do a quick zigzag. We are almost done here, folks. I'm just going to roll around in my paint here with my brush. If you have a round brush, it kind of helps to roll around. That's what I meant by roll around. Not like literally rolling around in the paint on the floor. I'm using it to, I'm rolling my brush so I can get as fine a tip as I can, really. All right, so now I'm going to outline my flowers. I can't wait to see the photos that you, of your artwork, guys. These are going to be fun. So please share those in the comments, or you can message us. We love seeing them. They make us so happy for all the awesome stuff they do. They've been just great about having these wellness breaks, all these great videos to keep us busy, to keep our brains and minds healthy and happy and relaxed. So thank you for having me as always. For my next painting, I will be on my personal painting Facebook page called Paint with Jackie. If you're new here, that's where I am on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. And for the rest of April. Are we back? I lost you. I think we're back. So in case you missed that, Tuesdays I'm on my personal Facebook page, Paint with Jackie, at 2 o'clock. And for the rest of April, I will be at the Jana Marie Foundation page at also 2 o'clock, but on Thursdays. Yeah. I don't even know what day it is. I think it's the 23rd. I don't know. We're almost done with April. Can you believe that? I can't. We're almost done with April, but I will be on my personal Facebook page, Paint with Jackie, Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. Jana Marie Foundation, Thursdays at 2 o'clock for the rest of the month of April. We'll see how long I can keep the painting schedule going. Depends on our, words. It depends on what's going on with the stay-at-home order, etc. But I am here and happy to paint along with you guys for as long as you'll have me. I believe that when we make art, we make a difference, and I'm really happy that you guys have been painting along with me. It brings me so much joy. I hope this painting brought you some joy today. It was a pleasure. Look at how different they are. Fun, right? This is a fun one. And just using this technique of kind of sketching out trees. I mean, you could have a whole series of these paintings with different flowers, maybe different trees. Anyway, show me those paintings. I love the photos. Put them in the comments. I will also put a link to my YouTube playlist for all the paintings that I've been doing in the Corona stay-at-home epidemic, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, so thanks again. And thanks to Jana Marie Foundation. Check out their website. Throw them a couple of dollars as a thank you for doing these cool events. Anyway, as always, thank you so much. This is Jackie from Paint with Jackie, and I'll see you next time.